All right, so let's talk about a major goal. I think a major goal for a lot of people is to become a part of the 1%, right? The 1% of America is that's like the American dream. Beyond having the nice car, beyond having a nice house, right? I think that 1%, being part of the 1% of America, it includes all of that. It includes the house. It includes the car. Everything that you know that you could imagine as having the all-American type of lifestyle. You could go on vacations when you want to. You have a lot of freedoms, and everyone wants to get to that 1% status. The 1% status, I think you need to be at about 250K a year individually. So that might be 500K or 450K in a married household. So that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. There's a lot more money, but I think people think that you have to have millions and millions of dollars to be a part of the 1%, but actually you don't. 50%, almost 50% of Americans make less than $30,000. So that was a shocking fact or statistic. When I saw that, I was actually pretty shocked that many people are living on 30K or less, or 35K or less. That's crazy because you can't do anything with that amount of money. I mean, you can, but that should be a stepping stone. That should be the beginning phases of your working career. So it's difficult to get to the 1% for a lot of people. I don't think it's so difficult to get to the 1%. I mean, even if you got to the top 5% of America, you'll be doing pretty good. But I personally don't think it's difficult. But I find that a lot of people can't do it, and I think the reason, my theory behind it, is that why they can't do it. I went to a Tony Robbins seminar. I think Tony Robbins was there. Gary Vee was there. It was held in the United Center. I'm in Chicago, right outside of Chicago, so United Center is right there. Go Bulls. Big Bulls fan, of course, MJ. And I just thought about it, and I don't even know how many people the United Center holds, but it's got to be a couple 100,000, I would think. 100,000, I don't know, but full arena, right? And I just started thinking, like, okay, if we got millionaires on stage, Tony Robbins, he's been doing it for a long time, for a lot of years. I know he's a millionaire. I don't know what his numbers look like. I haven't checked, but I know he's a millionaire. If we got millionaires on stage, I'm pretty sure Gary Vee is a millionaire. But if we got these millionaires on stage and we're in here and we're listening to what they're explaining to us or teaching us, right? And we can buy the books and we can go to all of the seminars, live events, watch all the YouTube videos. Why, if there's, let's say, 100,000 people in this building, why don't a new group of 100,000 millionaires, why aren't they created, right? And they're touring, right? They're touring, and the same people that are watching these or going to these live events, I'm pretty sure are reading the books. They're watching the YouTube videos. They're ingesting all of the knowledge, the tools, the tips, the resources that these individuals are giving us, right? Why aren't new millionaires, 100,000-naires being created? And it all boils down to this, in my opinion. You can listen, absorb all the information that it is that you want. But like in that arena that day, probably only 1% of the people in that arena actually went out of that came out of that studio, the next few days, the next weeks, the next months, the next few years, have actually applied anything that they've learned. Action. You can teach anyone anything you know, and they cannot, it's a good chance they will not become your competition. They will not get to the level where they're supposed to be. And that's simply because it's easy to listen to it. It's a lot harder to have the discipline and put that into action. A lot of people love to hear it. A lot of people don't talk about it, be about. Don't talk about it, be about it. Don't talk the talk, walk the walk. And that's what it basically comes down to. You can learn from the greatest. You can have the greatest teachers right in front of you. But if you don't do anything with that, one ear and out the other, it's a waste. You never get to that level. You never be a beast. No matter what I give you, no matter what Gary Vee gives you, no matter what Tony Robbins gives you, Les Brown, no matter what they give you, if you don't use it, then it's a waste. But see, those guys, they getting paid. So it's not a waste of their time. It's going to be a waste of your time. So you got to stay the course. Learn to trust the process. And more than that, learn to love the process. Learn to love the grind. Learn to love the hustle. If you don't love the grind, if you don't get that high of that next accomplishment, and you don't learn to love that grind, the good, the bad, the ugly, because you know that what the end results are going to be, you know what your accomplishments are going to be and what they're going to feel like. If you can't feel that before it already happens, then you'll give up. And then you'll be back looking at another self-help video, another self-help book, and starting all over again and saying, that one didn't work because it is. This one didn't work. But you got to look at yourself and say, maybe it didn't work because of me. Maybe I didn't stick with it, right? And every business venture that you do might not be the greatest. You assess it. You say, you know what, this might not be the one, right? But it doesn't mean you've moved away from the process of success. You just moved away from maybe that particular venture, and you got to regroup the venture. But your ambition, your determination, your discipline, your goals, you haven't stopped moving towards that. You just rerouted. So you want to be a part of 1%, do what others won't do. Go the extra mile, put the work in, and don't give up. Put it into action. At some point, you got to close the book, you got to put the videos down, and you got to get to work, right? If you want to be a part of that 1%, right? And that leads to financial freedom, which leads to freedom, right? So that's a whole nother topic, all right? Beast mode, 1,440 minutes in a day, in 24 hours. How are you using them? Grind hard or go home.